I really appreciate you joining me today, and we've got some updates coming from London. Thank you to Dave Nathan for his coverage from the scene. And the first one is about a stabbing in the area of Lee in South London. Crime scene footage shows forensics on the main high street where bus stops were cordoned off and also many shops were shut while they gathered evidence over the crime. A teenager is fighting for his life in hospital after the broad daylight stabbing on a London high road. The 18-year-old victim was found with a single stab wound on Lee High Road at 3:30 on Thursday. Medics rushed to the scene and within minutes he was taken to hospital. A spokesman for Scotland Yard said he's in a critical condition and his next of kin have been informed and a crime scene remains in place. The paramedics were the first on the scene, and this is what I believe a lot of the evidence gathered on the floor by the forensics will have been, is like stuff like t-shirts and blood and evidence from the actual incident. As far as we're aware, the forensics were there for the duration of the day until the early evening, and I'll definitely keep you updated on anything to do with that case. And with that being on the 28th of April and this next story being on the 1st of May, a 29-year-old male from Lewisham was arrested after a stabbing in Greenwich. Emergency services were called to the Greenwich High Road at around 2:15. So this is the middle of the morning, so why somebody was out at this time would have only been limited reasons. So for example, a bar or a party of some sort. A man aged in his 30s was taken to hospital and he died shortly after, and the victim's family have been informed. My condolences to the victim's family, and he's yet to be named, but I'll definitely keep you updated as that story develops. The only information in relation to the incident is that officers said that a man was seen fighting outside Belushi's bar on Greenwich High Road, and the man was arrested at a residential address later on the same day. A spokesman for British Transport Police said detectives are investigating after a man was stabbed in Greenwich in the early hours of the morning. British Transport Police and Metropolitan Police are working together on the case. Thank you to Dave Nathan for his coverage from the scene. There is a cordon in place with officers standing guard. And you can see Belushi's bar in the distance. There are several cone markers as well, and this will be symbolic of where evidence is. And the forensics were definitely going to be at the scene soon. There is also a sign for a happy hour at Belushi's bar as well, so this would be symbolic that there is a lot of people going there and they have some deals in relation to alcohol. So that would also support why they were out at 2 o'clock in the morning. Forensic officers were seen lifting up flower beds and searching underneath for evidence to help with the case. And at one point there was up to 6 officers doing sweeps of the area. And we'll definitely keep you updated on that story. In this next story, again around a bar setting as well. This is on the 2nd of May. The City of London police were appealing for information after a fatal stabbing on Gresham Street at 11:30 on May the 1st. Officers were called to the scene after a male in his 30s was suffering multiple stab wounds, and they carried out CPR, but the man was taken to a London hospital and sadly died. A number of people in the area at the time have given witness statements, and others have been asked to come forward. There is a large cordon in place, and this is very near St Paul's Cathedral, as other media outlets have said. The London Ambulance Service said they sent an ambulance and a medic in a response car, and they treated the man at the scene and took him to the hospital, but they couldn't do anything to save his life. There is a large cordon in place as well, and a vehicle is seen inside Noble Street, a Mercedes, and it's surrounded by what seems like evidence, potentially in this case. And with the City of London being the financial district, this is a very upmarket part of London as well. We covered an incident recently where a tower block was on fire inside this area, and there are some bars and clubs in the local area, and this is where they believe this incident unfolded. So we'll definitely keep you updated on that story in the coming days as more information emerges about the case. And in the final story from this episode, police were called at 7 o'clock on May the 2nd to reports of gunshots in Grace Close in the Mottingham area. Officers attended along with the ambulance service, and a 23-year-old male was taken to hospital and found with a gunshot wound to his leg. The injuries are not thought to be life-threatening, and police are asking for any witnesses about the incident that occurred on a residential street in the early evening. So I really appreciate you joining me for this update, and I'll be back again very shortly with some more news. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe, and follow me online as well at Scarcity Studios on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter and Facebook. Peace.